Insight's clear. All green here.
Got a minute to chat? Maybe a few minutes. Probably not hours, though. But no guarantees.
No wonder no one will work for you. My man is missing, and you're all just here, what? Waiting for him to wander back through the gate?
Mr. Halftown, we are trying, but we don't have the manpower.
And now half my crew thinks your little band of convicts is just waiting to drag us off and scrap us for organs.
Mr. Halftown, our security officer has been put into the infirmary trying to find your worker. We're doing everything we can. All I ask is that you and your crew be patient. You have nothing to fear from us convicts. We are handling it.
Then get it done. Or else we are going to have problems.
You have my word. I'm sorry, love, but the Eleos Retreat isn't taking new residents right now. We've had some issues. A missing person chief among them. But you're welcome to rest up and refuel here as long as you'd like. So long as there's no bounty hunter after you that's going to kick my brand new door off its hinges. That the truth? Because I can't say it's going to be easy work. But if you found the construction crew's missing man, we'd all owe you. You don't know how happy I am to hear it. But if you're going to be helping us, well, you should know who it is you're working with first. The staff here, we come from some challenging backgrounds. Nearly all of us have spent time behind bars at one point or another. But our plan is to make this place, the retreat, into something we wish we'd all had. A place to help the galaxy's incarcerated get themselves on firmer footing. We'll bring them here, pay off their bounties, get them job training and a support network. Help them build regular, stable, boring lives to keep them out of the system for good. But I won't pretend that that sort of work doesn't make some people uncomfortable, so I just wanted to make sure you were aware before you signed on. You are a lifesaver. First place you'll want to start is the infirmary. Our security officer, Greg D'Angelo, was in the process of tracking our missing person, a Mr. Killman, but was injured in the process. He should be able to get you pointed in the right direction.
I knew taking this job was a mistake.
Oh, see? This is lovely. I guess they have a vision of some kind. Seems weird,
Who are
but
you?
hey, it's their place.
Can't the guy heal in peace? SLOAN found someone else, huh? Well, hopefully, you'll have better luck than I did. I managed to turn up some tracks outside the facility. Bit of a hike, though. Not sure if they were Killman's, but Ixal's not exactly a bustling metropolis. There was a cave system I scanned nearby, but I got attacked before I could look any further. Next place I was planning to visit once I was on my feet again. I'd start there.
I'd get out of here while you can.
progressed to hostilities already. I've seen more of this galaxy than most folks.
No! No! I'm not going back! Stay away! Oh God, please, please don't put me back in the bag. I'll do whatever you say, just please, not the bag.
Exactly. Time for all of us to get the heck out of here.
You are? Oh, thank God. Come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
Hey, stranger.
You do know the way
Let's
back,
chat
right?
sometime, okay?
Holy shit, you found him.
There's a
Killman! Killman's back! Mother of God, kid. What happened?
I was walking out, and someone threw a bag over my head. They took me... I don't know. It smelled like the inside of a first aid kit. I had to sleep on the steel floor and...
Which one of you crooks bagged him, huh?
Crooks? Look here, buddy. I'm a nice person. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're safe.
Us? Why the hell would we do that? Waste of a perfectly good bag.
You're rambling, kid. Come on. Let's get you cleaned up. You smell like used welder's gear.
Mr. Halftown, I have some medical training. I'd be happy to...
You stay away from him. I want whoever kidnapped my man found and dealt with, understand? I don't care if it's one of your people or mine or a ghost. Find them.
Of course. We'll do what we can. But...
I'm not interested in excuses. I need to know who did this. Just find my man's kidnapper now.
I guess it might have been a bit naive for me to hope for a happy reconciliation, but you brought him back safe. That's what's important. Here, you have my sincerest thanks. But now, we've got a whole new thread to pull on. What are the chances I'd be able to convince you to help us find our kidnapper? Thank the heavens. So, we just need to figure out where we're sending you. Now, Mr. Killman didn't seem to have a lot of information, but I caught at least one or two bits I think could help us find our kidnapper. That's right. Not a lot of proper facilities like that in the area. Which makes me think... there was a building we were evaluating as a possible site for the retreat not far from here. An old research outpost. Seems like a decent match for the description of our kidnapper's hideaway. Here, the facility's coordinates. Head out there and see what you can find.
Halfdown's furious about how this is all gone down.
Ha! Right here? You hid here. Right. And moving on. All yours. Adorable! Bring it! It'll heal.
Taking
Oh,
damage.
good. My turn. What? Give me a few things here. Make a second trip. Take a break. Let's chat. Oh, I love it. My head! Time to break a sweat for a change. No. You're carrying a lot. Talk. Of course. You know I appreciate the collection. It's safe, smart, it's valuable. I wonder how long these creatures have lived here. Never mind. Sorry. Thinking of something else. Just go. Hey, a while ago, you helped me out when I was captured by the Crimson Fleet. Okay.
You seem to have weathered that trek well enough. Were you able to find anything at the facility? A slate? But it's broken. Monica, anything you can do with this?
I can take a look. Oh, it's encoded. Made to look scrambled. And done badly. Looks like... there. Seems there were 2 of them. Oh my god, it's all here. The accidents, the kidnapping, Greg's attack. These 2, they did it all.
Any mention of who they are? They're not with the construction crew, are they?
No names, but there are a pair of ID numbers. They're with the Trackers Alliance.
The Alliance sent 2 bounty hunters? Here? What? Our bounties are all paid.
I'm not seeing an Alliance contract or documentation. I think this is off the books.
On or off book, Trackers are bad news.
Oh, we are all keenly aware. So, a couple of trackers have decided to haunt us on their own free time. Why?
Doesn't say. It's really not that impressive. Used to sell these on the semi-regular in my old life. A cheating spouse wants to document all their flings without fear of their partner finding out? Just use one of these bad boys. It's computer hacker 101 stuff. And it sure doesn't explain why they've decided to harass us.
That certainly seems in the realm of possibility.
So then this is an easy fix. They're bounty hunters. We pay them to leave us alone.
And make ourselves a target for every other hunter in the universe. We need to take a stand.
Says the one guy physically incapable of taking one.
We're not doing anything until we actually find them. Any mention in there of where our trackers might be now?
Sounds like they're on a supply run, outside the system.
Then we got a little time. Given their background, and ours, I expect you're the only person here they might actually listen to. Would you be willing to act as an emissary on our behalf? I'm certain we can find a way to solve this without resorting to violence.
Let's just pay them and be done with it. I mean, we clearly need more manpower anyway. I'll hire them on as contractors.
To hell with that. We know where they live. Let's have our friend here get the drop on them and send them to the great beyond.
The last thing we need is the galaxy thinking that's how we solve our problems around here, Mr. D'Angelo. I would request you try to avoid any violence. But if you're looking for suggestions on how to proceed, well, it seems we've got opinions to spare. Be careful with these trackers. Love, I can only guess at what these two might be after. But it's clear they perceive something about us as a threat. They're afraid. And all you can do with fear is try and understand it. So, just listen to them, okay? Hear what they have to say. And see if you can make whatever it is they're worried about a little less scary. Good luck out there.
You looking for my suggestion? I don't think they're gonna respect anything other than force. But I think Sloan's not gonna be happy if you handle it that way. You deal with this however you want.
Did I mention thanks for taking these two on? Had to deal with my fair share of their kind over the years. You don't get into that job to make it rich. You get into it to be your own boss and prove how tough you are. So, my advice? Let them know that pushing around a bunch of counselors just makes them look like bullies, not tough. Be careful with those goons.
I think there's a clear way to solve this problem. I think you should offer them money, and I'm willing to help. Here, all I have liquid at the moment. Hopefully it'll be enough. Take care, please.
What the? Who's that?
No clue. You! Who are you and what the hell are you doing here? And just who the holy hell are you?
See? I told you Kilman was gonna lead them to us. Should have slit his throat when we had the chance.
Quiet. Listen, unless you're here to tell us those convicts have decided to close up shop, then we've got nothing to discuss. I couldn't care less about the cons. They can huff fish innards until they rot for all we care. But this retreat, if they actually succeed, keep criminals out of the bounty system, well, the galaxy probably doesn't need so many trackers at that point, does it? And then maybe the big boys like the UC and the Collective set up programs of their own, just like Eleos. Put us all out of a job. Now, better to nip it in the bud now before it becomes a threat. Which is why I'm not interested in discussing anything except the date and time they're shutting their doors. More than you can offer. Only way this stops is if that place closes up for good.
Act now. Limited time offer.
That's so. I guess that's a good point. Fine. We'll leave the retreat alone. Can't make any promises about us being the last, though. Just get out, all right?
There you are. You were gone for quite a while, love. Are you all right? Were you able to find our trackers? That's the best news I've had in quite a while. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, love. This place, all of us, we are in your debt. There is just one last piece of business, though. Nevin asked to speak to you, in private. He's waiting for you up in the office.
Ah, there you are. So, first things first, I need to say, well, thank you. And we are exceedingly grateful for it. It's just, the situation you set right, with the trackers, it's one we don't want to find ourselves in again. Luckily, we have someone, our founding donor in fact, who has offered to reach out to the Alliance, ensure their good behavior going forward. Before she does, however, she's asked for the details of what exactly occurred. I've already shared my own insights, but, well, she wants to talk to you, too. Is that something you might be amenable to? Ah, she'll be pleased to hear it. Head to Akila City in the Cheyenne system. Check in with Justin Sneed, her security chief, and I would ask you to try and be polite. She's the only reason we're here.
Tower's closed. Come back some other time. You're them, huh? I've got 2 rules for this little meeting. Rule number 1, you're not to share anything you discuss up there. This is a private matter, and we're going to keep it that way. Rule 2, you decide to get playful with that weapon, we're going to have serious problems. Think you can abide by those? Good. Miss Lance is waiting upstairs. You can go on up.
And that must make you our guest. Please, why don't you make yourself comfortable before we get started? Now, you may already know who I am. Raisha Lance, CEO, LOREDO Firearms. And you, I know all about. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the retreat. Truly, it's a project that's near and dear to my heart. Now, I presume Nevin already got you up to speed. I need details before I talk to the heads of the Trackers Alliance. Make sure their members understand the retreat's off limits. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just jump right into it. Lily here will be taking notes as we go. Now, Nevin said all the various incidents afflicting the retreat, they all stemmed from this pair of rogue bounty hunters. Do I have that right? Good. Lily, make sure we get a copy of all that, will you?
Yes, Miss Lance.
But Nevin did say you managed to get those two to leave the retreat alone. You mind my asking how you accomplished that? 2 trackers and you just talked them down? That's quite the feat. I'm interested in the details, though. How exactly did it all play out? I bet they are. So, only other thing I wanted to ask, and I'm just looking for an opinion here, is there anything in your eyes that could have been done to prevent this happening? After everything I've heard from you and Nevin, I'm inclined to agree. It'll take time to get the right people in place for this kind of work, but I'll make sure it's addressed. But that should give me enough to present to the Alliance. Thank you for making the time. Now, what you did, well, it deserves something more than just a couple of firm thank yous. Here, I want you to have these. They're a rare make, but I think you've earned it. Now, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we went our separate ways? You make lots of friends in my position. Friends in the Freestar Collective, friends in the UC. The sort of people with influence over things. Like, say, how much a locality is allowed to spend on Alliance contracts each quarter. When the Alliance heads grasp that it's better for us all to be friends, I expect they'll leave the retreat well enough alone. It's something that's been on my mind for a while now. How best to help the galaxy's incarcerated population? Humanity's tried plenty of bad ideas. Throwing them in jail and forgetting about them. The UC gave that a go way back when. Took all their criminals to a penal colony on Suvorov and left them to their own devices. Well, those folks didn't appreciate that sort of treatment, took over the colony, and now we call them the Crimson Fleet. Next, we tried making them pay fines instead of going to jail. Except if you don't have the money, that's no sort of improvement at all, is it? Bad idea after bad idea. I thought it was time we tried something new. That's where the plans for the retreat came from. Our attempt at doing things different. That's kind of you, but without your help, it might have stayed just a goal. You have my sincere thanks. Now if you'll excuse me, as you've seen, there's plenty to be done.
Talk to Miss Lance if you want to make a purchase.
Hey, Dusty. If you're ever thinking to yourself, I could really listen to Barrett's dulcet voice right now. Then instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello, okay?
Couple of damn trackers with a vendetta. Appreciate what you did for my people. Why does anyone take any job? Credits, and these folks have plenty. But I mean, come on. What they're selling here? Fixing the settled systems by giving criminals career training? You really think the Crimson Fleet are just one typing course away from becoming model citizens? Never been on the receiving side of a visit from the fleet, huh? And look, I know some folks have it tough out there. I've employed my fair share of ex-cons over the years. But you know how they turn their lives around? They did their time and got jobs instead of making the same bad choices again. Those are options everyone's already got. No retreat required. But I'm sure you didn't come here just for a debate. Let's talk about something else. I'm the construction foreman. It's my job to make sure the Eleos Retreat gets built to whatever standard these folks want so they can run this reform program or whatever. We'll be around.
Just happening through our neck of the woods, stranger? Nevin told me about your summons. Our, donor wasn't too hard on you, I hope. It's something she had asked for. She doesn't want her firm's reputation and ours to affect one another. But I'm mostly just curious how things went. Oh, I can imagine. Well, thanks to your little chat, our donor's doing everything she can to upend the various roadblocks in our way. We're in the process of vetting more security, looking at some additional and more agreeable contractors. Whatever gets this place closer to becoming a reality. Opening's still a ways off, but we'd be going nowhere if you hadn't wandered in. It's hard to say for certain. We're only just now in a place where we can actually assess how long everything's going to take. But with time, we'll get there. And that's thanks to you. Not in the cards this time. Thank you again, love. For you, our doors will always be open.